Semi-Solar by Ruth Rendell. Read by George Baker. There were 4 people besides himself in the waiting room, and none of them looked ill. The olive-skinned blonde in the designer tracksuit bloomed with health, her body all muscles, her hands all golden tendons. She had changed her seat when a child of 2 arrived with its mother and homed in on the chair next to hers. Now the blonde was 2 seats from him, and 3 from the very old man who sat with his knees together, his eyes on the board where the doctors' names were printed. The woman in the tracksuit thrust a hand into her crocodile-skin handbag, took out a flat gold case, removed a cigarette, and lit it with a gold lighter. Wexford became positively fascinated. No fewer than 3 notices on the walls forbade smoking. What would happen? To Wexford's surprise, the smoker turned to him and said without preamble, "I called the doctor, but he refused to come. Isn't that amazing? I was forced to come here myself." Wexford said something about GPs no longer making house calls except in cases of serious illness. How would he know if it wasn't serious if he didn't come? She must have correctly interpreted Wexford's disbelieving look. "Oh, it's not me," she said. "It's one of the servants." He longed to know more, but the chance was lost, as Dr. Akande's light came up. This is it, thought Wexford, his fear returning. Now I shall know. He went out without a backward glance. This was only the 2nd time Wexford had been to Raymond Akande since Akande joined the practice, and he liked to believe there had been some sort of a rapport between them. And then he castigated himself for thinking this way, because he knew damn well he wouldn't have involved himself with likings or dislikings if Akande had been other than he was. This morning, though, he was concerned only with himself, the fear, the horrid symptoms. Trying to be detached, he described them. The way he fell over when he got out of bed in the morning, the loss of balance, the floor coming up to meet him. "I thought maybe mania syndrome," he said unwisely. "I'm no believer in banning books," said the doctor, "but I'd personally burn all medical dictionaries. Why don't you leave the diagnosis to me?" He was quite willing. Akande examined his head, his chest, and a few reflexes. "Did you drive yourself here?" Wexford nodded. "Well, don't drive for a few days. Of course you can drive home. Half the population of King's Markham got this virus." "Virus?" "That's what I said. It seems to affect the semicircular canals in the ears, and they control the balance. I'm not going to give you anything for it. It'll get right in a day or 2 on its own." Akande.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?